What do I have for you today? Yes, it's another Monday market report, this time for the week ending May 22, 2022. Boy, there was a lot of twos in there. So we are going to be taking a look at the most relevant post-1900, what I consider quote-unquote modern era of graded coins to have sold here in the last week. So as things were wrapping up on good old gold, great collections. We'll just go ahead and combine the words. I have noticed that, there are a few collections selling. Now, is this just a matter of getting out of the hobby, and taking advantage of some pretty extraordinary tendies happening right now? I don't know about that. I think Great Collections has been the go-to source as far as a auction house goes. For a lot of pretty big high-profile collections. We have a couple more provenance pieces that have sold this week, along with a few other coins. You're going to notice a little bit of a theme this week, in that there are certain coins that are selling a lot better than others. And this is it's like the same time every year, right before Memorial Day. There are a certain type of coin that's selling so much better this time of year. And they, continuously perform all throughout the summer, while some of the other coins, have kind of faltered a little bit. Might we see an actual market cycle this year? Because we surely haven't seen it the last 3-4 years, and I have a vested interest in knowing if we're going to actually see a regular cycle where, big dealers and collectors and investors actually take the summer off, for crying out loud, and get away from the hobby. And that's normally where we see some slowdown. But not everything slows down. There's going to be certain coins that are just going to continuously sell really well. And I think we might be seeing just a little micro taste of that here this week. So I want to thank you guys for joining in. Always a pleasure doing this video with you every single week. It's a lot of fun, man. I just don't know what else to say. Just seeing some of these bomb pieces of every conceivable grade and color. Yeah, I said color, you know that. Along with some varieties in the mix. Man, it's just it's a good time to be alive in the coin hobby. Let's go ahead and jump right in with what I believe is probably a registry set coin. A 1992 Lincoln Memorial Cent is by no way an investable coin. I wouldn't even cross a 10-lane freeway to buy this coin. As a matter of fact, I'd be more willing to find one and send it if I am so lucky to get the top grade. But this one right here, obviously made for a registry set. It's a PCGS MidState 69 full red. That's a pretty high grade. As a matter of fact, it's the top pop for this one. This is actually one of the more common grades. I wouldn't say common, but there are more MidState 69s in the 1992 than most other dates surrounding it. Case in point, this one ended up selling for $1,631.25, whereas some of the other dates around it sell for $5 to $10K. So, yeah, a little bit more common of a date in 69. And again, don't invest in these. Don't even dare. The next one that we have here, actually we have 3 in a row. This is a PPMS set of 1947 Lincoln wheat cents. This particular one that we're seeing here is part of the Gerald L. Martin collection. All right, probably not a huge collection, but one that was able to attribute their own provenance right on the slab label, so that's cool. This one right here, along with the other two, are going to be premier registry set destination pieces. This particular example ended up as a MidState 67 plus full red. I mean, it's a very clean looking example at that. This one ended up selling for $1,605.38. Now here's a Denver of the 47. This one, however, has a little bit of toning. Kind of gives it a little personality, a little originality, and everything else. Again, made for a registry set. This one is also a 67 plus full red by PCGS, and that's exactly the grade that some of the most discerning, high-end collectors of the Lincoln Sun series want. This particular example, I would say, is a little bit tougher to find in this particular grade. This one sold for $2,418.75. Coming up next and rounding it out is going to be the Philadelphia Minted 47. Now, compared to the previous two coins, this one's not nearly as impressive looking, just based off of the images. A few carbon spots. The strike isn't nearly as strong, and that's evident there on the reverse. However, again, this is, Philadelphia coins of the 40s and 50s are pretty tough. All right, they're not known for their high edge quality. So, there is that. And that's why they're so tough to gain any sort of grade above, I would say, like a 65 plus or even a 66 if you're looking to aim for some serious stardom with these registry set folks. This one here, 67 red, no plus designation. It's also CAC certified as well. With all things considering, this one ended up hammering this evening for $2,193.75. And it's always a good week when a zinc-coated Steely ends up on the list. And we have another 43S. 43S is a date that we've seen more often, month in and month out, especially as a mid-state 68. This one right here, what it looks and appears to have, I don't know if that's like a fingerprint residual or something. I don't know. It's swirly enough that it looks like a fingerprint. But at the same time, it could just be some light moisture that oxidized that area just ever so slightly. Kind of hard to tell. That's probably why this one does not have a CAC certification, is that, we're not going to give it to this one. However, it did gain a 68 grade through PCGS. There is that. Always going to be a popular coin till the end of time. One-shot date, World War II era coin. There's a lot of things going for it. It's, contrasted with all the other Lincoln cents that are, bronze or whatever. I mean, this one sticks out like a sore thumb. This one ended up selling for $2,081.25. And again, these 68 grade level coins generally have ended in that $2,000 to $3,000 range, and I don't think anything's going to change anytime soon. We do have a few more Lincolns here. How about 29S? A little bit tougher date. Once you get beyond, like, say, 1935, things get a little bit more tougher. And this one, as you can tell, doesn't need to hit that capitulation 67 like we've seen on the previous coins. This one, however, is a 66 full red, CAC certified. And, a much-needed example for some of those higher-end sets where they don't have the luxury of seeing a 29S in grades above 65 that often, especially full red examples. This one ended up selling for $3,712.50. I would also like to add that not many of these survived the Great Depression age. A lot of the coins during that time were certainly spent. Very few were saved in mid-state red. And then finally, it's not a report without at least talking about a 1909 SVDB. This is the key among keys of the series. Very popular date in all grades, from some of the lowest to low-end types all the way up to, coins that hit this kind of level here. This one actually is a mid-state 66 red through NGC. On the reverse, you do have a little bit of the white plastic showing right there. So nothing to do with the coin at all. That's just the edge of the insert on there. But a very clean coin. Again, this probably looks more red in hand than these photos suggest. So if that's any doubt in your mind that maybe this should be maybe a red-brown, I totally agree with you. But I reserve my right until I could see this thing in hand. No, I didn't buy it. It turns out it's a very rich coin still at this level. This one ended up selling for $9,562.50. Yeah, does anyone have 10 grand to spare so I could try to test drive this one for myself? Probably not. But it's good to dream, and I'll just stick with my VF25 of this date and call it good. Now we do have a few nickels. Now this is actually a very tricky coin by itself. 1965 Jefferson Nickels were never produced in mint sets, nor were they ever really saved, out of circulation. They made special mint sets of these, which is a cross hybrid between a proof coin and a mint set uncirculated coin. So finding an actual true blue business strike coin is quite tough. Now finding one with full steps is nearly impossible. I'm not even sure if there's one graded. There's probably maybe 2 or 3. And at that point, you're just really settling for something that with marginal steps. This one is a MidState 67, however. So, it would certainly slot into a registry set if you need it, considering the scarcity of full steps types of this date. And this one right here sold for $2,308 and 50 cents. All right, how about a little bit of a key date update? We got this 1950D right here. This is between this and the 39D are the two most keyest of dates for the Jefferson Nickel set. However, finding full steps of a 50D actually is not really that difficult. I own 2 MidState 66 full steppers of this grade, of this date rather, and they're not really hard to find. These coins were generally very well struck back when they were made. This one right here is probably a very, very just overachieving registry set piece as a MidState 67 plus full stepper. Even has the modern QA certified grade on there, which is pretty neat by itself. This one sold for $1,732.50. MidState 66 full step caliber coins are generally worth about $60. All right, so there is a pretty tremendous drop off from a 67 plus to a 66. So if you're looking for affordability, definitely stay in like that MidState 66. Still very impressive grade and just a very sharp looking coin. Okay, so Buffalo Nickels, wow. These were killer this week. There were a few coins that certainly deserved some attention. We're going to start it off on one of the most common of dates, 1937. And this one's a Philadelphia minted 37. Go ahead and check your Red Book price guides. These have relatively high mintages. Pretty easy to find raw if you're looking for a MidState coin. However, when, high grade is certainly your game, then, you're going to want to look at something that's as clean as this. This is a MidState 68. And if this is a testament to how popular Buffalo Nickels are currently, I mean, sign me up. I got to go out there and do some more cherry picking myself to find more of these. Now, between 35, 36, and 37, there were quite a few BU rolls that existed for a while, and a lot of people have cherry-picked through most of them that had entered the market or had been purchased up through collections. So, finding a full roll these days is quite tough. This one right here ended up selling for $7,310.25. Now, here's the super newsy special of the week. 1936, another Philadelphia minted coin. Now, we had 2 1936 Buffalo Nickels, both P-mint, no frills. Well, I mean no frills, like no varieties, no errors, nothing particularly, crazy that sets one apart from the other, except maybe the grade. So this is a 68, probably the top pop grade of the state. And again, look at your red books, guys. Look online. 1936 is one of the most widely available dates that you will find out there in mid-state condition, or at all. The total mintage run is insane on this one. Now, this particular coin here in a 68 sold for $26,662.52. Now, wow. That's a lot of money. That's like brand new car. That's, maybe a year's supply of, cheeseburgers. I don't know. It's a lot of freaking money. Now, if you're eating a year's supply of cheeseburgers that totals $26,000, you're either going to a place that's way too expensive or you seriously need your cholesterol checked. But how about something that's a little bit more palatable? All right, this is a MidState 67 version, which doesn't look a whole lot more different. All right, there might be an extra nick or two. The luster might not be as strong, but boy, one grade point difference makes all the difference in the world. This one's even CAC certified, whereas the previous coin was not. Can you imagine if that one was cacked? That'd be, I wouldn't even imagine. So this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, ended up selling for $753.75. And yes, it's that one lone grade point lower that just made this one worth $25,800 less than the previous coin. It's kind of, it kind of makes you go a little weak in the knees to think about, especially considering if you're the one sending these coins out, hoping for a 68, knowing full well what's on the line, and it came back as a 67. Then, just all the air out of the balloon just kind of goes away, and, you just have to sit there and wallow. I mean, this is not a bad coin by any means, but yeah, the price difference is starkly huge. $753 for this one. Now, we only had two dimes really worthwhile talking about. The dime kind of market this week was a little lackluster, no Roosevelts. So how about a few Mercurys? Here's 1923S, a very, very scarce date in mid-state full band type grades. This one actually is a 63 out of all grades, and it looks every bit that. It's nothing that's going to wow you or impress your friends, especially if they're Mercury dime collectors as well. But yeah, this is a good, like, high-end type piece, if anything. It's not a 21, which is the more scarce date of the series. This one ended up selling for $1,434.38. Now, how about that 21? Now, this is what a AU53, it's a 53, 1921D looks like. It looks like an AU coin. Probably, I would say it might be graded 1.2 high. I was like, yeah, that's a pretty nice XF45 or AU50. But no, this one got a 53, and it's CAC stickered as well, so it's probably got some extra luster that looks a little bit better in hand. But yeah, this is the key day, guys. Aside from a 16D and a 1921P, this is the one that you would gun for in just any acceptable grade that's not like good or VG. Because, those coins are still like $100, while this one right here sold for $1,244.25. Where things really begin to get kind of expensive is when these cross into MidState condition. So MidState 61, 62 and up. Yeah, these things are many thousands of dollars. All right, we got a few quarters and then one absolutely bomb $50. You guys are going to have to wait for that one. But yeah, we got a couple proof quarters. Here's 1954 Washington quarter. This is a very tough date. All right, the proof sets from 55 and older are quite expensive. They're like $250, $300 just to get your foot in the door. But a 54 with a deep cameo, and good luck finding one with that kind of level of frosting that you see on here, is a rarity. All right, so you wouldn't dare buy a proof set from 54 unless it had a deep cameo coin of some type. This one right here just happens to be a PCGS proof 68 plus deep cameo. It's a very nice, very, very contrasted coin. Let's see, this one sold for $9,337.50. Hey, if you thought that was nuts, how about this 1950? This one also a proof coin, and it's not deep cameo. This is kind of like more along the line of that satin proof, as you would call it. You normally saw it from like 51, 52 and older. This one right here is a proof 69 by PCGS. But wow, take a look at the colors on this. yeah, for all you people that just want to throw this in a jar of Tarnex so you could restore the absolute beauty of pure blast white, yeah, you might want to think twice before you do that, because this one ultimately sold for $19,000. Do I just have to read the rest of the price? I will, because I love you guys. $19,687.50 is what this one sold for. Consider maybe a 20 to 25% premium just for the toning as it sits, which says a lot. Are you really going to throw away $4,000 to $5,000 to dip all of the original color away? Ask yourself that. I would personally, sell it. If you don't like it, just sell it and reap the rewards, because toners are hot right now. And then finally, we're going to end it off on, another very wildly popular key date of one of the most wildly popular series, and that's the Walking Liberty half dollar. 21D this time. This one is a MidState 65 Plus CAC edition. This one is part of the Rolo Fox collection. It says Fox right on the label. I believe Mr. Fox is a primarily Walking Liberty half collector, as we saw a pretty good number of his coins sell on this week's Great Collections auction. There was probably easily a few $100,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in realized sales of Walking Liberty halves just from the Fox collection alone. But I had to pick one. We're going with the key date of key dates for the Walking Liberty series 21D. I mean, it just does get better than that. 65 plus. This one ended up selling for $53,437.50. Yeah, I kind of had a mini seizure there because of just how nice the price was. And pretty nice Monday market report. A lot of variety, and yeah, I talked about some of the coins that people are buying pre-summer start. Yeah, Buffalo Nickels and Walking Liberty half dollars. I think that particular collection, the Fox collection, hit the market at just the right time. I think they timed it correctly and properly because the sales were quite strong. You guys ought to check it out. Check out the other listings from the Fox collection of Walking Liberties. Yeah, you're gonna fall in love for sure. And never again will you see probably a single assemblage of some of the highest graded specimens from that series alone. But that's going to go ahead and do it, ladies and gentlemen. I am out for today. I'm your host, Sean, with BlueRidgeSilverhound. If you're catching this video on a Monday morning, you guys drive safe. Have a great week. Don't work so hard. Jeez, we're almost to Memorial Day. And most importantly, you guys enjoy the hobby. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this time around. And that's going to go ahead and do it, my Coinaholics. You guys take care. We're discovering together. And I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.